Duality versus Trinity. Duality is animal consciousness, and in order to become human, we're supposed to transcend the duality and enter Trinity. That is the consciousness of a human. How does it all work? We will break down in this video. Let's start from this one idea that I've just recently heard, and it made me smile. In one of the videos somewhere on the net, I heard a lady saying that animals come to this world to teach us unconditional love. That sounds so sweet, but that's not how it works. And that's where we're gonna start. So that conclusion lady is making, and you might be making as well, if you try to perceive animals kind of like humans and suppose that they perceive the reality in a similar way as we humans do. Then their behavior, like of a dog, for example, who loves you unconditionally, as you might think, loves you and waits you and so loyal and so happy to see you. That's what you want, like, from your partner in life, right? And you look at that dog and you assume that the dog perceives the reality in the same way as you do, and yet look how loyal it is. And you tell your husband, like, why can't you be as loyal as this wonderful dog? The dog is better than you. And so you assume that animals are in that way ahead of us, and they know unconditional love. That's why they're so loyal. So how does this really work? Being a shaman, I am able to enter consciousness of an animal, which is technically, it is like tuning into a frequency of another being, or I can do the same thing with a tree. I can tune into a frequency of a tree, frequency of a rock, frequency of the sea, frequency of a frog, or of another human. So that's all about ability, like nothing special or magical about shamans, okay? It's just technology. It's all about being so good with operating of your own frequencies that you actually can change them, and you can actually tune into specific frequencies you choose. So by choosing to tune into a frequency of a dog, for example, I can feel the world the way a dog does, and perceive the world, perceive the reality the way the dog does. And you will be so surprised to see how different perception of a dog is compared to your own. And for a human to imagine it, it's pretty much impossible. I would have never been able to imagine it if I tried. So the first time I experienced it, I actually was shocked by how different perception is. Like, I would have never come up with that by myself. Seeing that actually explains a lot, but experiencing is different. But I don't think I can help you to experience it right now. So the best thing I can do is to try to explain how it felt and how it feels if you try to do that. And so from the standpoint of a dog, perception of a dog, the main difference from human is that the perception of a dog is very narrow, and the focus is so narrow that it functions differently. Focus of attention of a dog functions differently. That's the main difference. The moment when a dog is focused on an object, the rest of the world stops existing for the dog. Get this main point. This is the main difference of duality and Trinity, of consciousness which operates in 2D, that's 2D, duality, and 3D, Trinity. So the dog, perception of a dog is narrow, the focus is so narrow. The moment the dog is focusing on an object it does not perceive any other objects existing in its reality at that moment. So that's the weirdest part of experiencing it for the first time. I was like, how is this even possible? The moment I'm focused on this specific glass of water, nothing else exists. Like, this object is one and everything else is void. It's just emptiness. It doesn't exist. It's all zero, and there is one object only. And so I'm all able to focus only on that one object because that's the only object that exists in my reality. So I focus on it fully. Of course I focus on it fully. Being a dog, I will focus 100% of my attention on this one object because that's the only object that exists in my reality right now. So I would feel like if that object will also be a source of my food and safety and shelter, I will assume that that is mama. That is my mama. I focus on that thing, that if that's you, the owner of the dog, and if you are a source of all the good things for the dog assumes that you are its mother. I'm adding meanings, okay? Oh, the dog is probably not thinking that way about you, right? Just the way that perception works. That's the only object that exists, and it's also a source of food and safety. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. That's why it's shaking and waving its tail, because you're a source of happiness and safety, and happiness not in a human sense, but like you're giving the dog everything it needs. Food and shelter. You're a mother. That's why it's stuck on you. The moment you disappear from its attention, you stop existing for it. Don't think that dog is thinking about you when you are gone and it's waiting for you to come back from work. It's not thinking about you. It enjoys perceiving you the moment you appear in its reality. It's a surprise every time, and it enjoys it that moment. But it's not like thinking and imagining all the memories, remembering all the good times you've had together and how special you are. Like, dog is not doing that, all right? Just remove that all that fantasy and understand the difference. That my main point of this video is not the dog. We'll be talking about humans, but I'll come to that once you understand this main difference. Duality, Trinity. What is the difference? It is the difference of how consciousness perceives reality. Consciousness of a dog operates in duality. It consists only of zeros and ones. Something that is one is not a zero. Something that is zero is not one. That just like once something becomes an object, everything else becomes zero. So that's the perception. And the moment that something else appears grabs the attention of the dog directly switches his full attention to that one object, and now that is the main focus. Now that only that one object exists in dog's reality. You don't exist in dog's reality at that moment when he's playing with his toy or chasing a cat. That cat is the only thing that exists in dog's reality. But if you suddenly like shout and make some noise and grab the dog's attention, you appear in his reality again, and the dog will run towards you because your mama is coming, food, safety is coming. So please stop misinterpreting the behavior of the animal. Animal functions differently. Now, that loyal love that you see in your dog waving like his tail, and do you really want to be loved that way by your partner? Like that loyal, because that loyalty is a side effect of being an animal. So do you want to be loved in an animal way with this kind of focus of attention when your partner is able to see only you, is not able to see anything else? You become the one object and everything else becomes zero. Everything else becomes void. He just doesn't perceive anything else in the world. he sees or she sees only you. Do you want that kind of relationship? Really? Do you? Then you need to consider one more aspect. Once somebody focuses that way on you, you must assume full responsibility of this animal. Whether it's your husband or a dog, you have to assume full responsibility of this animal, because you are the mother, you are the father, whatever, you're the parent, you're the source of everything, you're the source of light, you're the source of food, shelter, happiness, love, everything. You must give everything. You're the only source. So the moment when you find this partner who loves you like that, like got stuck on you and cannot see anything, and you're like, that is love. That is what I call unconditional love. He loves me like crazy. He doesn't see anything else in the world. He doesn't see any other women. He doesn't I give examples of male, female, just use it as it relates to you. You want to be loved in that way, do you? And then you find this partner, he's so stuck on you, he's obsessed with you, he's like, and you're like, that's love. That's what I call unconditional love. He loves me same as my dog does. That's amazing. And then that dog looks at you and like, mama, you're giving me so much happiness. You just give me more, give me more. And you're giving. At first you're enjoying the fun part of it. And then one day you wake up and you say, now you give me love. And your dog says, what do you mean? I am giving you love. I'm focusing on you. Isn't that enough? And you say, no, you must give me other things also. You must take care of me. You must take responsibility of me. You must... And you come up with all the list of things that now your dog must do for you in order for this relationship to be right. And that does not make sense to a person who lives in duality, because you are the mama, you are the source. I love you by just focusing on you. That's all I can do. How do you want me now to do what? To work? To take care of you? That's where you start getting in trouble if you want that kind of love, because that person that's one item on this list. First, the moment when you start asking that person to take care of you, he will not understand what you want, because he assumes that you are the parent and you're supposed to take full responsibility of the dog as you feed and give shelter. And you probably don't ask your dog, like the dog that loves you like crazy, you don't feed dog 1 week and then next week say, okay dog, because you love me so much, now you go find a job and I'll be staying home, and you go earn money and you take care of me. You probably don't switch roles with your dogs, do you? You probably assume that you're going to take care of this dog for the rest of your life, and also of all of this dog's children as well, all the babies that this dog is going to produce. You're also going to feed and give shelter. Are you ready to do that same thing for your partner? That's the question number 1. Then question number 2, the moment when the partner is tired of focusing, because every human has a specific limit. For example, if you really enjoy this, especially if you have that one first romantic like outburst of energy and love, and you exchange, you cannot get enough of each other, and you're like you're together all the time, having great time, I don't know, making love, doing things together, talking, whatever, all the time, exchanging energy. Consider that this partner who is focused, he's gonna give all, because you're the only thing that exists in his world. He's gonna give you all of himself right away. He'll drain all of his energy into you, because no other objects exist, right? He doesn't remember at that moment about anything else. He gives all, and there is a limit to how much you have, how much energy you can hold. He's gonna give all, and he's gonna get tired. The moment he drains all the energy, he's gonna feel exhausted, and he'll feel disappointed and start questioning that. I don't feel that pull anymore. I cannot give anymore. I cannot focus on you anymore for some reason. I don't know why. You'll never experience that with the dog. See the difference? The dog doesn't get tired of focusing on you because it's not thinking about you when you're gone. The moment it sees you, it's in love with you again. Then you go, the dog forgets that you existed. So it has time to rest from loving you. Human, because the human's consciousness is not 2D. It operates in 3D. I will get to that. Just follow this part. That's why a human will, at some point, get tired. And the moment that person drains all of his energy and feel tired, he will remember that he was a human. His focus from you he'll draw that focus. It will automatically be drawn back from you. He will won't be able to focus on you anymore. He just won't be able to look at you. He won't be able to enjoy because there is no more energy left in him to give. He's tired, exhausted, so his focus automatically closes. And then that moment, he's shocked as a human, confused. What is this? I thought I loved her. I thought I loved you. What happened? Why am I not feeling that anymore? Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe you're not the one. Maybe this was all wrong. Maybe. And that's item number 2 on this list. That starts and you will go into your own craziness seeing that behavior, because that's not what you expect from a dog, right? And you don't expect from a dog questioning, like, are you my owner, or should I go find another one, or maybe you're not the one for me. You don't see that from a dog, do you? When you see that from a human, you will feel, you've all felt that, I'm sure, if you're still listening. So that's the moment when that dog is tired, human dog is tired. He's gonna pull back that energy, and when that energy is pulled back, now like he can only focus on himself at that one short moment. At that moment when he's focused on himself, nothing and nobody exists in his attention. Just like he becomes the one. Now, before you were the one and everything was void, and he was part of the void as well. It was not a relationship of two ones. It was not one on one. It was only one. You, everything else is zero, including him. Because this consciousness is only able to operate, the animal consciousness is only able to operate in 0 and 1. Somebody has to always be 0, somebody has to be 1. So, the moment he draws attention to himself, he becomes 1 in his reality. Everything else becomes void, emptiness, including you. Now, the moment, like, he'll need some time to rest. That's when the animal will run away. If you'll be like, why is he running away? Why? I use he because usually these energy of the animal incarnated in a human body presents this way in this dynamics, usually in a male body. That's why I use he more often. But women can as well do the same thing. Just the strategy will be a little bit different, dynamics a little bit different, but I hope you get the point. If I go into all the details of all possibilities, this video will be like 5 hours, so please don't ask me questions like asking for like finding little point and what if he is a narcissist, what if my mother is a narcissist. Don't ask me these, like this is annoying me, because like if I go into every detail of every possibility, each of my videos will be like 5 hours at least. Good that my camera cannot work that long. So just get the idea, please. Do the rest of the work by yourself, alright? I'm doing all I can. So the moment that person becomes one, everything else is void for him, he will run, he will get away from you. He will not understand why he's doing it. He will just resort, he will just close away, and usually in relationship dynamics this looks like the one partner just suddenly disappearing without an explanation or anything. Please don't run after and don't try to get explanation. The person does not understand why he is doing it. He is not understanding because he is in animal consciousness at that moment. Otherwise he would not have run. So he runs because you don't exist for him. Like he has understand, like, what is this person doing near me? Why am I even here? What is this? Why am I even in this place? Like, I need to be home. Run, escape, run somewhere else. Now when he is alone, he will rest and he will restore his energy. He'll take some time to do his ordinary daily things, do something, sleep, rest, get his power. When his battery starts filling up, he gets his power back. He will be able to start shifting his attention again out from himself into this void, into this world. And the first object that will be the brightest in his area of focus, he will assign to be the one. Understand? Like, so that's the idea of the woman in the red dress in the Matrix movie. The first woman in red dress that passes, he will feel that that's the one. That's the one. Mother, and he will run after that mother because like she grabs the attention, and she's a potential source of everything. And so now he's fully focused on this one. And the moment when he's focused on this one, he does not remember about he does not perceive, okay? He does not directly perceive others. So that moment when he's fully focused, he will feel that this is the one. Now I found, that one was mistake, this is the one. And he'll fully engage with that pool again. If he has a lot of energy, has a lot of potential, he'll conquer this one woman in red dress, and he will do it, and the story will repeat because he will again give his all. And if the woman, like, can she take all or she cannot, that's a topic for another videos about karmics and twin flames and all that. That's classification is separate. Here the important point is how perception works in 2D, in animal consciousness. Now why is that a problem? Like, why should we even transcend that? Like, maybe, like, a lot of men say, like, I enjoy my life like that, what's the problem? No need to fix me, I'm happy like that, switching from woman to woman, I'm happy. The thing is that technically, like, it can be called pleasure, not happiness, not joy. As for vibrational scale, the emotion that this animal is able to experience is not that of higher human emotions. They are more like animal joy, like your dog is happy when it's like waving its tail and like shaking, from that level of happiness. That's animal level. Just on human terms, that would be just pleasure. So this man is saying, like, I'm enjoying, I'm happy, meaning that he's getting enough pleasure from his life. Like, as much as he wants to get pleasure, he's getting it. Now, as for happiness, what else do we need? The thing is that for a dog, that behavior is absolutely natural. Like, dog is not getting depressed about living such a life with just one boring owner for his whole life. The difference between a dog and a human is that a human is already operating in 3D reality. It is already functioning as the consciousness of a human is already functioning as a Trinity. And when within Trinity you behave like duality, you will always feel like something is missing. I don't know, like something is missing. Like, I'm not something I'm not understanding here, like something I'm searching. That's the idea that stands behind like the message to all people, to all humanity, to search for love, to search for true love, because that third item, the connecting element of all, is love. So that person will interpret this feeling like something is wrong, something is missing. I'm happy, like I'm having all these different women in red dresses every day, but like I feel like, yeah, I'm enjoying, I have pleasure, but like I feel like still there's something is missing. I don't know what, but something is missing. And friends might say like, maybe you're searching for love, and he'll be like, what, love? No, that's silly. Oh, maybe I'm searching for that one woman, that one, because each one is like one, but there should be that one final one, which will be bigger and better than all other ones, which is not possible, because one is just one in duality. And the feeling of dissatisfaction with life, dissatisfaction with experience, dissatisfaction with himself, will always follow this person. So that dissatisfaction and feeling that's still something I'm not getting here, not understanding, like something is missing, the person will interpret and experience as guilt and shame for all the pain that he's given to all those women that he left behind. See, that's an illusion, misinterpretation that comes to a man because he now remembers what he's done, like every time he behaved like an animal, left and switched his focus off and disappeared, and he knows how much pain he's given to that woman, how much pain he's given, and he feels disgusted in a way of himself, and he feels guilt and shame of they even say like, I feel like I'm an animal, I feel like I'm so primitive, I feel like they are actually like like they feel there is like that this behavior is kind of animal, but they're like, okay, that's what I am, I'm an animal, so what? So what is the difference, like to how to shift out of this whole thing? The difference is that the key lays that why it happens, because the consciousness of human, if you've already incarnated as a human, it means your consciousness is able of more, is able to perceive more of reality, not just 1D, not just 2D. You are already able to perceive 3D, but you are not perceiving 3D, you're perceiving 2D consciously. You think you're living like animal, but subconsciously you're still functioning in 3D. That is the difference. You are able to perceive an object, all the background, and everything in between. This is the key. 3D, Trinity, object, not object, meaning background, and everything in between. That is 1, 0, and everything in between. Object, background, and space between. That is Trinity, and that is what you are perceiving already automatically, just by being human, just by having a human body. You see reality like this, and that's why you assume a dog sees it like that. Dog doesn't see the space between objects. It doesn't perceive the background and the object at the same time. It either sees the object or the background, that's all, and it switches. That's the difference. That is what is called matrix. That is what is called programming. That is the program which is written in zeros and ones, zeros and ones. And to break out of the matrix means to transcend this animal consciousness, which only perceives object and background, object or background, object or background. 0, 1, 0, 1. And to understand that there is a way for a human to perceive object, background, and all the space in between. You do that already. Just own that. Because the moment when you're focused on that one woman, that special one in red dress, you still do have memory of all the other ones. You still remember, you still, like if you're sitting at a restaurant with this one, you still see other possible ones passing, and you still can consider options, and you still can remember all your past ones and maybe dream about some future ones. Dog does not do that. Dog is not able to do that. That's the key. You are doing that. That's the source of your pain and suffering, because you are able to see all the background, all these possibilities, all these possible women. You're able to perceive them, and yet you're focused on this one, and you feel like you cannot shift your focus. You don't have a right. You should be good. You should focus, and that gives you pain, because like you're questioning, because I do see other options. I do, maybe that one is better. Maybe I switch to that one, and that's then guilt, shame, drama, pain. All that starts just by not using this mechanism properly. I'm explaining to the best I can. So understanding that to be a human means, like, what is love on a human level? It is not about finding the one, because that's what dog does. I found one. No, I found one. And it's not about finding the one. Human consciousness is about choosing the one, assigning that that's going to be the one, still keeping your ability and being at peace with the ability to see all other options, perceive all the background and all the details of the background, perceive it, and see all the space in between and all the possibilities, how that could possibly evolve, and yet keep your conscious focus on this one, because that's your choice. So finding the one is the dog level. Choosing the one and making a decision. I'm gonna focus on you. Even though I see all others, I've chosen you. That is the human level. And to reach that level, you have to evolve maybe a little bit more, for if you're still struggling with all those things, emotions. It's a process, but I'm describing the end result. That's when you just make a decision. So I'm just gonna, my focus will shift. There is an animal part of me anyway. My focus will, sometimes I'll focus at you like crazy. You're like, you're my mom. Sometimes my focus will shift off you. But that is not a problem if I know that there is an animal part of me. I have the body. Like, I do need this body to love you. Like, so let's respect the body and its functions. All right, we respect that. Yet we know that we're capable of more if we want to experience human level of joy and happiness. Not just animal pleasure, but human joy. That is when you act in Trinity and learning to own this human ability to perceive three elements at once. And you can actually train that. If you wonder, I'll go on into that topic separately. How do you actually train your focus to be able to keep your attention focused on the main object, all the background, and everything in between? For example, just for those who might get curious about this, there are some channels. I've seen one. If you ask me, I'll write it down in comments. My guides told me to find that channel. They told me that there is such a channel on YouTube, and I searched for it. I found there is a channel which posts videos about training your focus through hearing, and there is like music there. sounds in which there's a lot of sounds playing at the same time. There would be, I don't know, like water, bells, dog barking, somebody talking, all different kinds of sounds happening at the same time. And the voice on the video will give you instructions how to train your focus, and it will help you. It will tell you, for example, focus on the dog barking. Now just like still hear all the rest, but focus only on the dog barking, and the music plays, and all the noises play, and you train. That's one of the ways to train your focus, to train human focus. That was the hint from my guides to find that channel. And then further that video goes, they tell you like shift your now focus on the water. Can you hear there's in background, and you need to find that water in the background. Then it tells, for example, keep all the listen to everything and focus on that one specific sound. Shift your focus from this to that, then hear all of them at the same time. That expands your ability to see the background. Consider like all the elements at once. That might hurt your head if you are not ready for that. But that training is just beautiful. Like whoever created that page was surely guided from the same team that I'm working with. So that's one of the ways to train your perception as of a human. And well, I guess for this video it's probably enough. We will be coming back to these topics. Please don't pull more information from it. Don't squeeze more. Ask questions politely if you have them. I will consider them when I make my new videos. But there is more to this topic, a lot more, as to the duality, Trinity, and as to the relationships and all these twin flames and all that. There's so much more, but I should split this information in parts. So if you have questions, ask politely, please, and I will give more details. Bye bye.